This is the walkthrough video for the 2018 Forest River Sunseeker 2860 DS. I'm just going through it. It has not had its exterior wash yet for time efficiencies, so it will have that before it goes. The front tires should be filled to 75 psi and 80 in the rear. There's the side camera that is blinker activated. You have the propane tank, just over half a tank there. Open it up here to use the propane appliances like the furnace, water heater, and fridge. The yellow cap is where the propane technician will fill it. Storage compartment, and then the entry door. There are two different keys for the entry doors. So the circle key is for the handle lock, and the largest key is for the deadbolt. The deadbolt is the safest to use whenever possible. And for the other keys, of course, you have the Ford ignition key, the lock, unlock, and panic button, and then the small silver keys are for the storage compartments, and the flat side of the key will go on the bubble side of the lock. Just going over some items right inside the door. So first, these are furnace ducts, the battery power switch, so it's on off at the moment. You switch it to on for use and for charging. The batteries charge up 4 ways. They charge from shore power, from the generator, and when you're driving. And if it would be the 4th way if you are plugged into a solar panel. These 2 light switches are for the patio lights outside that we saw. The awning extend and retract button. So I've extended the awning. You just press and hold it until you see the aluminum tube roll on the end. The awning button, so it is a 12 volt. It is a 12 volt awning, so it needs the battery to be on. But the key cannot be in the ignition for the awning. They don't want you to drive away and put the awning out when you're driving. Just quickly with the awning, it does have this pull down to adjust pitch sticker. So simply just pull down if you want to tilt it down on one side, and then just press it back up. Just uses the hydraulic. This is one of those aisle lights, and then the leveling jack panel I'll come back to. This is just the breaker panel, breakers and fuses here. There's some more underneath the bed as well. This is the furnace exhaust, the back end of the fridge, a couple outlets. The GFI is in the bathroom for the outlets. This is the barbecue that comes with it, and the quick connect port for it. A couple items in this compartment, the Firestone airbag suspensions here. We recommend between 40 and 80 psi, so not left at 0. You want to check them when you check your tire pressures, and the max fill is 100. 80 psi is a little stiffer. It's better if you're towing something or on like the 400 series highways. If you're on a lot of like gravel or bumpy roads, 40 psi is what's recommended. Okay, so back in this little compartment here, the water filter will go inside there. The water pump is the silver appliance here, so that brings water up from your freshwater tank. The white coiled hose here is for antifreeze, so it will siphon out of the jug with the water pump. The blue line, the valve is straight up and down right now. That is the low point drain. So the freshwater tank is the water that you're carrying around with you. When that blue line is open, it will empty out the freshwater tank. So that's if you're at the end of your trip and you don't want any more water in there, or you want to lighten the weight of the motorhome. The pass-through storage, so there's the drain ports there. And the outside kitchen. So the fridge, it is 110 powered. It's got the outlet there. Just quick open it. Right, it's on 0 right now to be off. And then, yeah, the 12 volt powered TV with the sink, drawer outlets, and light. The ladder to go up onto the roof. So we recommend inspecting all of the seals on the motorhome twice a year. So winterizing and dewinterizing is a good time to do that. So that's just checking around each of them to make sure that none of the seals have cracked or dried, and if they did, they would need an exterior sealant applied. Washing the motorhome, it is also recommended to wash once a month as you're using it. And the hitch here, so we have the 7,500 pounds with the 7-pin 2-inch hitch, and the spare tire is mounted up underneath. The backup camera was there as well. The other side of the pass-through and the shore power cable, so the yellow end goes into here. This is a coax cable for park cable TV if it's available. The city water connection is your water connection at the campsite. Your freshwater fill is to fill up the water to carry around with you. So the water that you're carrying around with you, you will need the water pump on to access that. So when you're stopped, you're using the bathroom or whatever, you turn the water pump switch on and you can help bring water up to the faucets. Don't use the water pump while the vehicle's in motion. But here, the city water connection, this is surged water, so this just goes straight to the faucets. Just inside here, we have a new hose for you in a box. Get the black and gray valves there, so you always so you open up the white cutout in the floor, bring your sewer hose up in, twist it on the end of the sewer outlet here. Actually, this one snaps in, it's the green tab there. You always empty your black tank first, close it, and then empty your gray and close that one. It does have a little light right there. And the airbag suspension, there's another one on this side. The outside kitchen sink has its own, so again, you'll open up the green tab, connect it, and pull this valve. It is a gray tank because it's the kitchen sink, but it's got a black handle. You can see the jacks as well while we're down here. So this is the gas fill, it's on the driver's side. The outside shower, it's all coiled up, so you can use that for rinsing things off outside. Rinse the sewer hose if you'd like, that's what it's for. The black tank flush valve is here. So while you're connected and the black tank valve is filled, or sorry, that black tank valve is open, your sewer hose is all connected, black tank valve's open, you can turn the water hose on at the black tank flush, and that will rinse out the sewer hose, or rinse out the black tank itself. So you do that if it's smelly inside or it's the end of the season and you want to rinse it out. There's a light near the slide out awning there. This one here, it is called driver's side rear light, and that's just so that you have a dump station light at nighttime. This is the back end of the water heater. So the connections for it are, the switches for it are inside. It does have a couple instructions on here. Compartment, the generator exhaust. So the generator, the siphon is set at 1/4 of the motorhome gas tank. So once it hits below, the generator will turn off or it won't start if you're trying to turn it on. The battery disconnect at the entry door needs to be in the on position for it as well. And to start it up, you can use this rocker switch here. So hold it on the prime side until that red light turns on, and then hold it on the start side for a few seconds. If it doesn't start up right away, you want to give it a break and then come back to it. It does have a breaker switch down on the side there, so that little loop, and then the oil fill. So the first oil change should be at 50 hours, then 100 hours, and every 100 hours following. The side camera there. Just inside the entry door, this button is the emergency start switch. So if the engine battery has gone flat, but your house battery has a charge, or you've turned on the generator, you can use the emergency start button. So you hold this button down and at the same time turn the key over in the ignition to start up the engine. Headlights, power mirrors. This red light, or this red switch, is for heated mirrors to turn the heat on the mirrors. And then the mirror movement is below. Alright, so just head inside. So just inside the motorhome, I'm going to turn the generator on to operate a few things. So a few seconds here, red light. So the power, there's an auto transfer switch, so when the power turns on, it will automatically, the microwave will beep and the light will turn on. So I'll just go over a couple other things on this control panel. So the indicator panels are up on the side. The hardest thing about these buttons is that the label, there's the power. The label is underneath the button, so propane is the first one, 2/3, battery, reading at 2/3, almost full. There we go, full. We'd false read as full because where the generator is running. The fresh, black, gray, and galley tanks are all empty. And still, no water in it this season. Electric and propane for the water heater. You can have both switches on at the same time if both power sources are available. The water pump, so that's a 12-volt pump that brings water up from the freshwater tank to the faucets. The Arctic package are the 12-volt heating pads on the holding tanks. They turn off as they need to and on as they need to and off once they've warmed up. So we recommend just turning it on below 10 degrees. It will turn on around 0 most likely, and the light will turn on when it's active. The light switches for the interior here. The slide out control. So the slide out, you want to make sure that you have the jacks down first if you're going to extend the jacks. The jacks go down first and then the slides. You don't want to put the slide out and then the jacks because the jacks can sometimes be like a rocky movement, and that's not healthy for the slides. The driver's side rear light is that dump station light that we saw above the sewer compartment outside. Okay, so just got power on. You can press auto level right away, but it is good to know how to use them in manual as well. So we just want to operate them down in pairs to start, and then you can adjust individually. When it's fully leveled, the foot will show up. So right now it's saying that all are up, so it would be safe to drive. If you ever hear any beeping coming from back here while you're driving, you want to make sure you come back and check this panel to make sure that one of the jacks hasn't crept down, and you want to retract it immediately, obviously. Okay, so manual. Good, press and hold. In case you press both of the front buttons and then both of the rear buttons to get it to go, to get both jacks to go down in the front to touch, and then both jacks to go down in the back to touch. That is ideal. That way you don't have any twisting of the coach. Alright, so down. With these jacks, they are definitely strong enough to lift the tires off the ground, though it's not recommended. So you'd want to check and make sure that they're not lifting them up. And then from there you can just retract. So we're gonna retract the jacks because it isn't necessary for them all to be down at the moment. So when you press retract, we're gonna feel the shifting of the motorhome going down while the jacks are coming up. So for retracting, you just press and hold the retract button to bring the jacks up. One thing to know is the auto level mode has sensors that go out, so it's super tempting to watch. So we have the all up light there. It's super tempting to watch an auto level to see them all going down, but it is advised not to have things moving around the coach, just on the outside or the inside, while that's happening, because it can throw off the sensors. So keeping things more still if you can. All right, and then you can just turn it off from there. Okay, so then continuing, I've got the generator on at the moment, so we'll just run the air conditioner, as it is another appliance that runs on 110. So just turning the thermostat on, we use mode. This says just the auto fan. This is for AC. And it can take a minute to click over. There we go. So this is the blast cool. When it is open, the air comes straight down. When it's closed, it goes more through the vents. It's just noisy. This is the next mode is for furnace, and then off. So pretty simple mode. So first, the fan is in auto. That is the best for furnace. If the fan has a speed, this right now still would cycle for the AC anyways, but the fan is best in auto for the furnace. Is it stays off. It's in high or low, it will run, and you have cold air coming through the ceiling while you have warm air through the floor. So next, then the AC, and then furnace. So it is a bit warmer today, so we'll see if the furnace will click over in a minute. I hear it clicking. There we go. So it is under the fridge, that's why I'm pointing this way, but there's obviously the black ones around the floor. You can hear the fan there. So we'll just take a minute to cycle off. So the 3 light switches that we saw, bedroom, aisle lights included, and then for the slides, we would run those as well. So for the slides, you just want to make sure that you have full battery power before operating them. So generator on or plugged into shore power whenever possible. And the key cannot be in the ignition or the slides will not operate, just like the awning. So not much to talk about in the bathroom or in the bedroom, just the outlets on the sides of the bed. And there. And then you can add a TV in there if you like. So to show you the adjustment of the blinds there. Shower is pretty simple, foot flush in the bathroom with the sprayer. The GFI is that outlet in the corner. Again, just want to make sure that you have your fans closed for when you're driving or if it's raining. Just turn the generator off there. The furnace will cycle off in a minute. The fridge, basically just press it on and you leave it on auto. It's going to use the 12 volt and propane right now, or it will switch over to 110 when possible. So we'll hear it click a few times. If you see the check light on, just press the on and off, like press the power button and turn it back on. It'll come on. Okay. And then for the fridge, these little clips are for defrosting. So they go on like this. And that just gives the airflow so that you don't get mold growing in it. And the slider for the fridge there. So water heater, we mentioned it is behind this panel in the back there. The stovetop. So just always make sure you have the glass cover back before you use the stovetop. Okay, got all the burners going there, so just press and hold light and then turn the burner knob. If it's been a while that propane has gone through the line, it can take a minute or two of clicking the burner to get the propane to come all the way up. So yeah, the fan's on, microwave is above it. Drawers there. Put the kickouts with the footrest pop out in the sofa, is what I'm trying to say. The fan above us, so pull down to open it. This one does have a rain cover on it, so you can have it open while you're driving and through the rain. Smoke detector, the King Jack antenna, so that's your TV channels. It is a directional antenna, and you spin it around to try to get a better signal after you scan for channels. It does have a power button, and it is here behind that silver coax. I can't reach my phone to it, but there's a tiny little button. It has a green light, and that's how you know that it has power to it. If it's off, then it won't get channels. And it does have those extra hookups there if you wanted to for the TV. When you go to a new location, you need to scan for channels. So you need to go to channel and then auto scan. Where it says air here, if you had the coax cable selected for the coax cable plugged in outside for coax, that's how you would watch cable TV there. You'd have to scan with that one. Otherwise, every time you go to a new place, you need to scan for channels using the air selection, and it looks like that. Just down in the cab. So it's pretty simple. Climate controls, power, 12-volt power plugs, and USB. Just have it in accessory mode. So you can set up a phone from here. Right. So those are all there. So camera view. That's their backup camera. It's just the shadow from the back wall. Just see the, oh, sorry, my bad reflection there. That's the driver's side blinker, and the little slide out is for the bedroom. And then we see the entry door on the passenger side. Okay. And then just radio. You can press and hold to save a station. I'll just change that there. Pretty simple. So it does have like the mileage will change when it comes back from the safety. Parking brake is down there. And yeah, Bluetooth microphone. So pretty much it. The scanning of channels just finished up there. The TV's on. The stereo A and B are the difference for inside and outside speakers. The channel will always, or sorry, the time will always change every time you turn the battery off at the entry door. The time will reset on the clock. So A is for inside, B is for outside. Hear that? All right, yeah, Bluetooth, and everything all in there. So if you have any questions along the way, just reach out and let us know.